All right, guys, so this is a bit more of a personal one. I've struggled with, binge eating and binge eating disorder of food, relationship, an unhealthy relationship with food, I guess you could say. And it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. It's getting much better, and that's because I actively try to make it better. But here are just some things that honestly helped me with this whole ordeal, with this whole problem. The one thing that really helped me a lot was fasting, intermittent fasting, or 1 meal a day. Now, I'm not so strict about it nowadays just because I have a higher weight. And what you should know is the more fat you have, the more leptin increases, which means that's the hormone that's responsible for hunger signals. Pretty much you get hungry less. That's what happens when you gain weight. That's why if you ever bulked, you'll notice that you get hungry less. So I don't really feel I need to binge or whatever nowadays, but when I cut weight or when I'm cutting, I really feel it. And the one tool that's helped me a lot is fasting. 1 meal a day, maybe 2. And what I'll usually do is I'll break my fast around 3 p.m.-ish, 4 p.m.-ish, like right before I go train. And it's not like I'll have anything heavy, maybe a protein bar, an apple, some kombucha, maybe just something light. Go train, whatever, get all that out of the way. Then around 8, 9 p.m., I have a big, solid, 2,500 calorie meal. And I'll have a lot of food. You'd be surprised. Now, my caloric needs are obviously way more different than someone who isn't as training or as active as me. But this will still help you a lot even if your calories aren't that much. It's really easier because when you're fasting, sure, you're gonna be hungry, but it's much more manageable. The way I see it is I channel all that binge, the desire to binge, I channel it into this 1 meal. And I'll have the piece of chocolate that I've been craving all day, something like that. And just a tip, just so you guys know, when you do eat sugar, so let's say I've been craving some Reese's, this is what I do. I'm not saying you should do it or whatever, but this is what I do because I know myself and I know my body and I know how I feel. Now, when you eat sugar, there's a response in your body because sugar, and especially these highly processed foods, they're barely even foods, but this highly processed shit, I'll call, that we eat. See, what it does in your body is it increases your want for food in general, so it increases your appetite, and it increases your want, your desire, your hunger, your craving for sugary foods. So that's a double whammy, right? Excuse me. So not only when you eat a sugary food not only does it increase the want or the craving for more food in general, but also for sugary foods specifically, especially those high calorie foods. And what I'll do is at night, this is my usual meal. I'll have a pound of some sort of protein source, so a pound of ground beef and about a pound of potatoes and 5-6 eggs. I'll have a lot of food with a bowl of fruit at the end. And what I'll do is after I have this big meal, I'll eat the piece of chocolate that I want, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, even when I'm stuffed and I eat a piece of chocolate, I suddenly feel like I could eat another meal. And so knowing this about myself and just knowing how the human body responds to this kind of stuff, I take advantage of that. I used to keep this piece of chocolate, and I know some of you may say, oh, it's just a piece of chocolate, just get over it, bro. Until you've actually had some sort of binge eating disorder, you really don't know what it feels like. You feel like there's a demon inside of you that just wants to eat, and like you kind of have no control over it really. And so what I'll do is I'll eat this big meal, and then I'll eat this piece of chocolate, and I'll feel like I could eat more, but that's where the bowl of fruit comes in. A lot of fiber, a lot of nutrients, and a lot of satiating foods, especially if you drink a lot of water after. And the problem with this processed sugar, this processed shit that you eat, and I don't know, my favorite is king size Reese's cups with Reese's Pieces. Oh my God. Stop talking, bro. I could eat those things for days, okay? The problem with these kinds of chocolates is when you eat them, the kind of things that are available, the sugar, all this shit, the carbohydrates that are available in this little piece of chocolate, they don't come like that in nature. What do I mean by that? See, in nature, when you eat a piece of fruit, like a date, which is high calorie, but you get the point, or I don't know, some blueberries, your body, when it eats the blueberry, what comes with the blueberry? Some nutrients, some fiber, it fills you up, it helps you feel satiated. And when you eat this Reese's cup, what happens is your body's kind of like, wait, so here's a bunch of sugar, but where's the fiber? Where are the nutrients that I need? And so that's kind of how it, like, oh, give me more, because your body's just trying to play catch up with itself to get those nutrients. And so you go and binge on a fucking, I don't know, peanut butter and honey or something. I don't know, that's my usual go-to binge food. And that's why I like to keep that kind of shit out of the house. So, just some tips for binging or whatever. I don't know the underlying psychological reasons you may binge. That's up to you to decide and find out on your own discovery, self-discovery journey, whatever. But this is definitely something that's helped me a lot, is I'll have one large meal at the end of the day with a piece of chocolate after, the piece of chocolate I've been craving, and a bowl of fruit after to fill myself up after that piece of chocolate. So hope that helps, and yeah, that's it, done.